most unchristmas Christmas I've ever Christmased. It is almost 70 degrees outside, and I don't know why it doesn't feel like the holiday season right now. Maybe I'm tripping, but it don't feel like Christmas. Christmas is coming. Why I never feel like Christmas is coming? It's probably because my family buffed up, or probably because my money ain't in lump sums. I don't buy presents until after the holidays, when the buy one get two half off signs wave. And I still may not make a purchase. Now my insecurities got me feeling so worthless. How I feel about religion got my prayers feeling so churchless. If my soul ain't for sale, then what is my sole purpose? Rolling down La Brea on a 212. I heard my worst enemy wished I do well. I heard a close friend of me ain't too fond of me. I got word that this tender match wanna follow me. She wanna link up tonight, and I'd rather spend time with her than with folks I've known my whole life. Like, Christmas ain't coming. I'm acting like Christmas ain't coming. There's no bonds, just blood relationship. I really hate to get shit, but Christmas is coming. I want it to feel like Christmas is coming. Let me be vulnerable and face my fears. Don't wanna hide my face when I shed tears, baby.
Hey, all I can say is the Wadi Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Kakadash. The water. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there unto those like foreigners. For the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. This is a beautiful. For the first time in a long time, I must say, it's gotten horribly for the people, but it's been finally good for us. Now, the reason why I brought it up like that was because for a long period of time, it was discussing that with a bro around this time frame, this is where things kind of get dicey for bros and how they feel about certain things. Not even how you feel. It's just, well, actually, it is how you feel. Because right now, matter of fact, let me start with that scripture. I'll come back to this. Ephesians 6 and 12 to the point. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So those of us that know this truth, knows the different meanings behind everything, the different time frames of when you have holidays, which the holidays really represents the holy days. And you have ordinary days. But you also have demonic days. And this time frame is the most demonic time on the planet Earth. And that is it's a tradition, which I'm going to get now. I'm going to get that real quick. Colossians 2 and 8. It says, beware, lest any man shall spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit after the tradition of men. All right, and this has been one of the greatest tradition of men on the planet Earth, which goes back from the very beginning, when all nations were as one and all nations were broken apart. That's where all of the traditions that people carry to this day go by. That goes into the birth of the son, the supposedly virgin birth. Okay, that goes back to all that shit, which is Nimrod, the great warrior, right? Who's probably subdued all the nations at that time, and they built up the tower, of Babel, and the Lord, we know the rest. But part of the tradition that we know of, which we finally find out, Nimrod got killed, and his wife mother, which is sickening, right? Said she had a child by the son, and that child was Tammuz, which it goes into. Let me see. Oh wow, I forgot about that one. Ezekiel 8 and should be like 9. Ezekiel 8 and I want to kind of go to the point. There it is. Ezekiel 8 and 13. And he said also unto me, turn yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Talking about Israel. Right? And what was the whole thing about Israel? When Israel went to the land, there was a kill of all the heathens that was around about them in that land. All right? They didn't mess with the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, and so forth. It was just the Canaanites. They was not supposed to marry between us and them. We was supposed to follow after their customs, because their customs is the reason why they got kicked out the land. So now the Lord is giving an account when Israel is already established, okay, and they openly, was that openly, sorry, in front of everybody, they were Israelites that was supposed to be worshiping Yahweh, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, but in the dark, they was following after the customs of the heathens. It says, then he brought me to the door of the gate in the Lord's house, which was towards the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Now, where does this concept weeping for Tammuz come from? This is where you go. Let me see what it tell you about Tammuz. Tammuz. Reference deity. Tammuz, sprite of life. And there it is. Well, it says the Sumerian deity of food or vegetation. So it says uncertain duration. So when you go, it's not by hearsay, it's by no say. Tammuz was supposed to be the son of Nimrod rebirth. Okay? She says she got pregnant by the son after Nimrod was killed. And Tammuz was supposed to have gotten killed by a bull. Yeah, got killed by a bull. So every so often, the tradition is when he died in the world considered Easter. Okay, because you have the rabbit, which is fertility. Rabbits don't lay eggs. The eggs is a representation of all the women that would have what we call today abortion back then during that time frame. So around is the winter solstice, which is we are in. This is the peak. There was a lot of orgies going on. And whatever child was born, they will end up killing that child during that time, what they call Easter. That's a representation of the painting of the eggs. This is all crazy. But there's a lot of truth behind so when Ezekiel, when he saw this, he was pissed. Like, what the hell? The Lord's like, yeah, they weeping for Tammuz. Okay? some in this subject. Jeremiah, see if I can remember. I think it's 1 and 11. Uh, 11. There's one right there. Hold on. Gotta go up a bit. Let me just Queen of Heaven. Supposed to be in. And no woman who have not been inserted by a man. Oh, I had it the wrong way. Can't have a child without a man. No. There's no such thing as a virgin birth. Technically, that's an oxymoron. But there we go. It says Jeremiah 7 and 18. The children gathered wood, and their fathers kindled the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, which goes back to the tradition of Semiramis. All right, to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. Do they provoke me to anger, saith the Lord? Do they not provoke themselves to confusion of their own faces? And here we are. Everybody is in a confused state. Now the people are mourning the fact that they can't keep tradition going. Okay, which goes also Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 16. Sorry, 15. Let's start at 15. 14. For by the vainglory of man they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he have made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. So right now is this ceremony and the sacrifice to a fraudulent god. Right? It says, thus in the process of time, an ungodly custom grew strong, was kept as law, and the graven images were worshipped by the kings, by the commandment of the kings. And to this very day, this is what people follows. That child that had been sacrificed, they weep for, they did all that stuff for, they follow to this day. So some odd reason they believe in their mind, this is the day where the Lord was born, when he was never born in the dead of winter, or the beginning of winter. Okay? It says, Jeremiah 10, I had to bring this out, and 2, and those, I'm going to Daniel's. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So the heathens, they see what's going on in the heavens, they're in great fear. For the customs of the people are vain. See that? So all this shit was been going on was vain. People kill themselves usually around this time to give some spoiled child a gift. All right? Oh, my child does good in school. Your child not, it isn't. If a child gets A's and B's of today, if you compare that to the children of 10 years ago, that child would have never made it. The children are getting stupider and stupider, and you're rewarding them just because they follow the instructions of the teachers. And everybody's going crazy and trying to break their necks to give their child something that they could give them normally and that they don't even need. Some odd reason in this weird ass world, they have you believe to have a child, to have expenses for a child is crazy. Like you have to spend so much money, you got to make the child happy. A child doesn't even know what happiness is all about. All right? Then, so all this tradition, people breaking their backs and their necks and they bank, the bank just to give this kid something that they might just forget about the next day. But as long as I did this, all right? So these are vain customs, okay? From one cut of a tree out of the forest and the work of his hands of the workman with an axe. Sounds familiar? They deck it with silver and with gold and fasten it with nails, flakia, and with hammers that it move not. That goes into those trees. And that tree, like I did the show a couple, I don't know, make mention of, that also goes back to Nimrod, the evergreen tree. Giving the gifts was a way of worshiping Nimrod. All right? The tree not only is an evergreen tree, also represents a phallus, which is a penis. So you're given the gifts so that the spirit of that tree of Nimrod would come and destroy you. People, if you really understand the traditions that's going on, if you're in the right spirit, you're like, I'm never doing this ever again. So what the Lord bring this up for what reason? Because the Lord, Yahweh, the creator of all things, this is what he's doing. Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. What is that city of confusion? It's talking about America. Babylon just means that. Is Babel language, land, the confusion, the land of confusion. All right? The language is land. Babel means confusion. Because what happened? They were confused. They was confounded by their language. Each nation, each person had a different language. Only those that knew that set language stuck together. It says, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets, the truth. All right, the truth is not going to be accessible to many. All right, the mirth of the land is gone, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the mirth be taken away. And part of that mirth is the music. I was watching those old school videos, and they try to put Christmas music within. And what's funny about the Christmas music, which is real funny about that, is like they've been trying to force that same spirit, that same Christmas garbage for years. All right. They've been selling it, and it's getting weaker and weaker throughout the years. And one of the main things about this time of season was always the cares for the children and giving them. But everybody is in that same spirit of, like, this spirit is dead. The Lord is removing that spirit, that joy spirit, off of these people. Showing you once again there is a God, and he had enough. Okay, he had enough what's going on. All right. It says, and the city is left desolate, and the gate is smitten with destruction. which is soon to come. So that joy, that joyful spirit is being removed. Okay? And Tawada, once again, Tawada Yahabashim Yahushai. Tawada Yahabashim Yahushai for that. So now, what's left for these people? The doses of reality. All right? Ecclesiastes 7 and 2, it says, it's better to go into the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. And these motherfuckers been feasting for a long time. It was real good. Oh, the holidays are coming. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. You don't have to do shit. This shit is systematically dying. All right? Financially dying. And good riddance. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is better. So we've been in a house of mourning for a long time. Now you can feel it you can feel the shift every time this year. People don't even know if they could pay their rent next month. What the year is gonna bring, let alone concerned about these stupid holidays. And then what even makes it better is that they're removing, some countries are removing New Year's Eve from the landscape. So people going out there and celebrate, that's being thrown out the window. We are here. The heart of the wise is in a house of mourning. So those of us that was always upset, always being bothered, it's like, nah, fuck this. We was always in the right spirit. But the house of fools is in a house of mirth. And the foolish are now realizing how stupid they are. Okay? So this is why that guy, I didn't even see all of it. Let me just play a little bit and that's it. Shout out to the GMS dedication, because he always put out some good stuff.
Bro, it's time to get this shit up, bro. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. It's time for us to get this shit up, bro.
And every single holiday that he may mention, it all has demonic vibrations to it, the timing. And these are all traditions that was passed down. And who's being really bothered by these holidays now? It's Jake. All right? This is why he's making that statement. Okay? He's making that statement because things has changed dramatically. And he's realizing that. And it's usually the men that it kind of clicks. It's like, why am I spending all this fucking money on? You could have any day of the year, get a turkey, get your family together, but y'all choose that day because this is what they told you. And that's the commemoration of the destruction of the Native Americans. The demonic spell of Christmas, Halloween, forget about it. That shit is pure demonic. But y'all always just like, it's just fun for the kids. Payback's a bitch.
We need to stop celebrating this bullshit. We knew Thanksgiving was a motherfucking massacre. We knew it was. And I know that black people helped in that massacre also. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. It was black pilgrims too. See, when you know history, study that shit, you'll understand all this shit been a game. And niggas have helped in the oppression of black people throughout history. We need to get this shit up, dog. Spending our money just for nostalgic reasons. Yeah, fuck that turkey. Fuck that goddamn tree. It's time to get this shit up, man. It's just time to get this shit up, dog. It's time to get this shit up, dog. The average person spend a third of their income on holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving, man, it's time to get this shit up, dog. It's time to get, and I know a lot of y'all done really, spiritually, you been clocked out. There's a lot of people spiritually been clocked out of celebrating holidays. It's just do it because it's routine now. That's why a lot of people, you go in a lot of people's house, some people have their Christmas tree up all year. A lot of people is spiritually clocked out of these holiday shit. The spirit is fed up. We need to get this shit up, dog. It's real talk.
I'm being tagged in videos. People, Christmas spirits down. It's okay. Christmas started off as a pagan holiday anyway. It was ritualistic, especially when black people got here. Black and brown people, we were used as the ornaments. It's okay if you don't like Christmas. That may be your ancestors telling you ain't supposed to be celebrating it anyway. Christmas today is mainly for the kids to look at the lights, get the gifts and things like that. Nobody really celebrates Christmas for what it's for. Christians came and adapted and tried to, make it look better later on, but Christmas was always a pagan holiday. That's why some, I don't know if it's Christian religions, I ain't Christian, but some people frown at it and they don't celebrate it. Yeah. So it's okay if you're not in the spirit. Your ancestors wasn't supposed to celebrate it anyway. It's okay. It's totally okay.